Good afternoon. This is Sean Golding with Golding and Golding. Back in March of 2020, I believe, we had posted a video involving CP15 notices and the interaction with Forms 3520, Gift and Trust, 5471, 8938. Let's focus specifically on Form 3520, the CP15 notice, and what you do in order to put your best foot forward to try to avoid the penalty. The basics, right? We're talking about when you receive a gift or a trust distribution from a foreign person, non-resident alien. If it comes from an individual and the gift value is more than $100,000, related party rules apply, then you may have to file the Form 3520. If it's from an entity and it's around, I think it's $17,500, it's an awkward sort of figure, you have to file as well. And if there's any trust distributions, say you're a beneficiary of a foreign non-grantor trust and you receive a distribution, you have to file it as well. There's no value to it. It could be de minimis. So you receive a trust distribution or you receive a gift, an inheritance even, you don't file the Form 3520. You file it late and you get hit with a penalty notice. Now, Form 3520 is what is referred to as an assessable penalty. What does that mean? It means it does not follow typical deficiency procedures. You're not sitting face-to-face with an IRS agent going back and forth. Rather, you're sitting home one day, maybe it's Friday night, you're getting ready to go out, have a good time, you get a notice, you look, and it's like you've been dinged 25% penalty. Because normally what happens is the penalty for the gift, we'll focus on gifts from individuals because that's the most common. Example, you got a $600,000 gift from a non-resident alien relative because they love you and they want you to be able to buy a house because you have no credit. You just got off F1 and you're on H1B. You didn't file it, you filed it late, you get the penalty notice. It's 5% a month up to 25%. You know, the gift came in a year and a half ago, you filed it late, so now you're looking at a $150,000 penalty. It comes on a CP15 notice, okay? CP15 notices are time sensitive. Typically, you have 30 days to protest. Now, if you submitted a reasonable cause letter along with your, take a step back. IRS is super disorganized, right? So if you submitted a reasonable cause letter along with your late filed 3520, you may get a CP15 notice, you may not, you may just get a LTR 854C, letter 854C, which basically says you have 60 days to appeal. We'll get there in a minute. But assuming, normally what will happen is you'll get a CP15 notice. It gives you 30 days to protest. You file the protest, that's with the IRS. The IRS may sit on this for months, even years. We're just coming off of COVID. The IRS is getting back to business in terms of staff, but they have a lot of catch up. So in the interim, you filed the 3520 protest. In the interim, you may receive one or multiple letters saying you owe money. There are 504 notices. You can normally put those on hold, different strategies for different people, depending what you want to do. But the CP15, 30 days to respond. After you do that, if it's accepted, that's great. If not, then you'll get a letter 854C. Basically says you have 60 days to appeal. At this point, you need to take a step back and decide if you want to appeal or not. There's normally two avenues to go. You've got the collection due process hearing, usually before a settlement officer. Further down the line, there's pros and cons to either approach. We have lots of information available on the website. While a collection due process might give you the best chance to fight the penalty, it comes with some risk of a notice of federal tax lien, proposed tax levy. It can make taxpayers uncomfortable getting those letters. Otherwise, you can appeal before an appeals officer. Those can go well too, but the concern is if you don't win at the appellate level at the IRS, Independent Office of Appeals, independent in quotes, right? You don't really have an opportunity to go to tax court, whereas with the CP15 notice collection due process route, you normally get 30 days. You can go to tax court. Doesn't mean you'll win, but you have more opportunity. Oftentimes, you go to tax court, the first thing they're going to do is just slingshot you back to appeals. We got a ton of free information available on our main website and our sub-websites. If you haven't submitted 3520 yet, there are various routes to go. You might want to do one of the amnesty procedures depending on if you have other unreported assets such as bank accounts, investment accounts, things of that nature. Again, my name is Sean Golding with Golding & Golding. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day.